Alright, welcome to another video on how to become a business consulting freelancer. To make a quick recap of all of these modules, so far the last 4 modules. First, I look at the fundamentals on how to become a business consulting freelancer and to develop a career on a specific niche. And then how to get started as a business consulting freelancer, and then when to find and land high-paying consulting clients. So right now, I am looking at how to create, how to conduct a research and gather quality data. So first, I look at, well, since data is the most important type of recognize the power of data, which is something very important because it can help you to influence others, persuade them, reinforce your point of view, inform others, but also can be misleading. And because of that, and especially when you're conducting a research to a consulting project or for a consulting project, it's important to recognize is where this data comes from. So you have 3 types of source. The first party data, which data that comes from the company, and you usually have to sign an NDA agreement before you have access to that. And then you have is the third party data, data that are from trust sources. They have a great record, proven record of research report, peer review, among others, and the aggregate source, where now this is the least valuable because you can check the author of that data. And after all, it's important to mention that. Okay, so now once I look at an overview of how to conduct a research based on, first, look things from different perspectives, play devil advocate with yourself, then keep note in records of every source you obtain, gather relevant data as well as qualify the data that you're getting, and don't forget to circle back with the client. So once I look at a real life example provided by Paul Mendes, the Zero to Mastery structure. So by looking at tourist website, in there, first, get yourself familiar of all the product and service and understand their website, so you can later on go into the specific by looking at the category, their prices, what makes this company unique, company's review, and then if you can have access to that, well, gather the first party data, and this is, you're gonna look at what they have done in the past, how they have been performance, and from there you can see how you can provide your suggestions. So once you conduct this research based on their brand, the products, and the category, now it is time to make a competitor analysis to see who the other players in that industry are, what you can learn from them, and make a keyword research based on that, because this will help you when you use keyword tools to understand what's really going on in that industry. And on top of that, then you're going to look at world news, get up-to-date data, and see how everything that you have researched, what is most likely to work today. And that includes is look at the regulations and how this industry is adapting to regulations and where this industry is going. So this is from the tourist website. Then, once I conduct my own research on the e-commerce sphere, okay, uh, okay, to understand more about that industry, and after all, I just want to create a e-commerce with a bunch of web technology that is out of the scope of this video. Uh, First, I need to understand what an e-commerce is. So Amazon mentioned that is the trade of goods and service. So it is your city, it is your bustling city center or your brick and mortar shop converts into zeros and one on the internet superhighway. And Shopify mentioned yes. So while e-business refers to operating all aspects of an online business, whether it's the marketing, conducting market research, develop marketing strategies, create marketing campaigns, and manage social media accounts, sales, identify sales prospect or potential leads, make uh, sales calls or presentation, negotiate contract and closing deals, financing, record every financial transaction that a company has, create reports, uh, make keep up to date your taxes with the government, among other financial things. Human research, which is recruiting and hiring, the recruiting and hiring uh, employers, administrating benefits and payroll, as well as provide training and capacitation to employers and manage or manage employees issue among them. On operations management, we have is developing a strategy to improve or create new production process, check quality standards. Do you have then the IT, which creates computer networks, implement and developing software systems, provide technical support, ensure data security, customer relationship or customer service, which is ensuring to handle customer inquiries as well as managing refunds or complaints, provide technical support, and check the customer satisfaction. And in the R&D, the research and development, develop new products or improve existing ones, as well as creating patents and intellectual property. So this is a aspect of the operating a business, right? This is a specific 8 activities of a business, and e-commerce, according to Shopify, refers only the transaction of goods and service on the internet. And then I need to understand what are the main actors involved in this e-commerce or in the type of e-commerce, such as the government, business, and consumers, as well as how they interact each other or the type of e-commerce. So you have the business to consumer, which is the most widely business model used, where you have retailers like Amazon, Walmart, Costco, Target, digital marketplace like Etsy, eBay, subscription service like Netflix or Spotify, booking and online traveling like Expedia, Airbnb, uh, and Booking.com, and ordering food and delivering service like uh, Grubhub in the US, DoorDash, and Uber Eats. Another relationship is the business to business, where here you have is the online marketplace like Alibaba, Amazon e-business, eBay business, EDI, electronic data interchange, paperwork that were traditionally made on paper, such as invoice or purchase order. Now it is done electronically, so they can exchange that within the company or among other companies in a secure way. IBM provided supplier portals, where now very large business organizations set an online portals to streamline their supply chains and procurement process, such as Walmart Supply Center or SAP Areva Network, wholesale e-commerce like Granger or Uline, and business-to-business payment solutions like PayPal or Stripe. Another type of e-commerce is customer to business, such as freelance work on platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, and TopTal. Custom online survey, such as SurveyMonkey. User-generated content most of the times are influencers that they can sell that to business to promote certain service, good and service, or users that sells their digital content such as audio, image, or video. Crowdfunding such as Kickstart or Indiegogo, and in a reverse auction where now consumers submit a price quota on a product, on a good or service issued by a business. Another relationship now it is with the government to business, such as public procurement portals like the FBO in the US, the Federal Business Opportunity, or the Contract Finder Service in the UK. Tax filing and payment systems like the electronic federal tax payment system on the US, or the HM, the UK HM Custom Revenue. Licensing and permit applications, such as food service or building permit, international trades and custom clearance, like electronic custom clearance or export declaration and business registration, uh, such as the SBA on the US, the Small Business Administration, or the UK Company House. When it comes now to the government to consumers, here we have is tax payment portals like the IRS, vehicle registration and licensing, passport applications and renewal, utility bills, payment of utility bills, and order birth and death certificate, such as the on the UK is the General Register Office, and in the US is through the National Center for Health Statistics. That's a very interesting website, by the way. And you see how fucked up is the US people. In any case, so now looking at the uh, consumers to governments, such as online donations, but now consumers can donate to government agency or organizations such as such disaster relief in place or in websites like the American Cross, the American Red Cross, or UNICEF, United Nations International Emergency Fund, United Nations International Children Emergency Fund, okay, also fishing or licensing and fishing licensing and hunting permits, okay, which is something that the consumers can ask or citizens can ask to government. Payment of fines and fees, such as traffic tickets or parking tickets. Online petition, so to influence the government policies, like change.org website. So this is the all the huge overview of the type of e-commerce as well as their examples. So okay, that's great to know, because with that, then I look at how can I create this competitor analysis. Okay, so to look who the other players are in that industry, meaning you have Amazon, Alibaba, IKEA, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, and then a keyword research based on that, so you can see what's going on in that industry. Most of the time is with Shopify themes, Shopify point of sales, Amazon gift cards, eBay coins, eBay gift cards, Fire Stick, Amazon Fire Stick, and Alexa, websites, template, e-commerce, uh, and then after that, then I switch to how to conduct how to create a visually engaging presentation. Because once you do that research and you look at the first party data, the second party data, and might be your third party data, okay, now it is time to put that in a visually engaging presentation. Since when you display data with charts and the statistics to your clients and to see together how you reach that conclusion by looking at the meaningful patterns, that can help you to stand out from the competition and from there implement your suggestions. That's the whole idea of creating this visually engaging presentation. So there are a couple of things that you should do. First is analyze your data and your notes. So before creating the report, you should know exactly what you're going to put in that. Then put the most valuable data first, because you don't want the client start to forget what was the most important or what the important thing was. Uh, in fact, you want is to first lay down the ground, show the most impactful data, and expand on that with visualizations and different aesthetics. Create templates, especially if this is a recurring client for yourself. This is here. Create templates and visualize data into graph and chart. Okay, there is a study in the MIT 2014 which says, hey, uh, MIT's neuroscientists find out that the brain can identify image scenes for as little as 13 milliseconds. And this is something important because data visualizations help you make informed decision. So how now you can is use the different charts, okay? How you can make use of the different graph and charts. Each one of them has a specific use case. So BART, not BART, bar. Uh, bars are great when you want to show change in times or compare different category or par as a whole. Pie chart when you want to make a comparison, a par to a whole comparison, which is are more impactful and important with small data sets. All right, all of this comes from Data Hero, a startup company that's focused on visualization. Mm, Then you also have this line graph when you want to see the relationship, when you want to see a time series relationship with continuous data. This is useful when you want to see trends, accelerations, decelerations, and volatility. Area graph, which is also when you want to see time series relationship, but now with volume, meaning that they can represent is three variables. All of this graph that I mentioned are time series or time series relationship most of the time, right? Now, once I look at the scatter plot, when you want to see how different items relate each other based on two variables or based on a two set of variables like customer satisfactions and time to respond, for example, to see correlation of data in large amount of data. And again, correlation does not mean causality. So this is scatter plot, bubble chart, which is a combination or it's a combo between scatter plot and area chart, where you can see is what you can represent is now three variables. Okay, so bubble charts are great to display nominal comparison data that the order doesn't matter here, where the order doesn't matter. Heat maps are useful when you want to display categorical data, where when you want to display categorical data using intensity of color. Okay, but it's like that. Okay, so heat maps are useful when you want to display categorical data. Okay, heat maps are useful when you want to display categorical data using intensity of color to represent value of geographical areas or data tables. And that's the two main use case for heat map. Okay, it allows you to display categorical data, meaning data that can be grouped, whether it's nominal, where the order when there is no inherent order, or ordinal, where it has an inherent order. Okay, and I'm going to make a pause here because this is something very, very important, especially when you're going to show data. Okay, with heat maps. So heat maps allow you to display categorical data, meaning data that can be gathered in groups, whether it's nominal, which it doesn't have an inherent order, such as color, type of hair, such as color, type of hair, fruit, gender, ethnicity, or ordinal data where it has an inherent order, such as salary bracket or income brackets, education level, high school, associate degree, bachelor degree, master degree, doctorate. Okay. Yeah, education levels. high school, yeah, high school diploma, associate degree, bachelor degree, master degree, doctorate, income bracket, yeah, income bracket, job seniority, entry level, mid level, senior level, executive level. So customer satisfaction, poor, fair, good, very good, excellent. Health status, poor, fair, good, very good, excellent. So I will stick with this for example. Okay, when it comes to ordinal, categorical, ordinal, categorical data, where it has an inherent order, such as educational level, bachelor diploma, high school diploma, associate degree, bachelor degree, master degrees, doctorate, income brackets, job seniority, entry level, middle level, senior level, executive level, customer satisfaction, poor, fair, good, very good, excellent, health status, poor, fair, good, very good, excellent, the same. Using intensity of color to represent values of geographical areas or data tables. Okay, using to represent value of geographical areas or data tables. Okay, so another example of this, okay, on the heat map. So he showed this, data. I don't see highest degree versus class identification. The other is the number of commits made in a repo per day to show you the activity of that. Okay. Mhm. To show you the activity. So this is heat map. Okay. Uh, Again, heat maps are charts used to display categorical data. Mhm. Exactly. Are used to display data that can be grouped, whether it's nominal, it doesn't have an inherent order, such as gender, ethnicity, type of color, type of roots, nationality. Well, nationality it has, but it's like gender, marital status, ethnicity, eye colors, fruit, uh, cards, even though you can order that, but actually it doesn't have an inherent value. But it doesn't have an inherent order. Okay. So again, to display nominal data, okay, so heat maps are used to display categorical data that can be grouped into classes, whether it has an inherent order, such as nominal uh, data like ethnicity, gender, color, marital status, fruit, or it has an inherent order, such called ordinal data, such as income brackets, education level, bachelor diploma, associate degrees, bachelor degrees, master degrees, doctorate, job seniority, entry level, mid level, senior level, C executive, customer satisfactions, or health, like poor, fair, good, very good, and excellent. Using intensity of color, okay, using intensity of color to represent values. So using intensity of color, okay, so using intensity of color to represent the values of geographical areas or data tables. So this is very important to know and be able to articulate the heat maps. Okay. Then I look at geomaps, okay? Maps plotting data on a geomap, showing the distribution of data across regions. All right, like geomaps. Again, geomaps is another type of graph. Geomap is it show distribution of data across regions, such as agencies, uh, agencies across a country. Okay, so it show distribution. So it show distribution of data across a region, such as agencies or store warehouse. Yeah, such as stores, warehouse, mm, showing distribution of data in a region. Geomap. Tables, the simplest way to compare cells by representative, where block views are coming from, etc. Right? So tables are a good way to compare, for example, cells by cells representative, where block view are coming from by the IP. So this is tables. Waterfall charts show value over time and how various cohort perform over time. Waterfall charts is for performance. It's a performance chart. Okay, show value over time and how various cohort perform over time. Pictograms, simplest way to display statistic using icons, and I love it. Okay, pictogram is a simple way of displaying statistic using icons, and that'll be all, right? That'll be all here. Then I look at the tools and resources like Microsoft Excel, Statista, Google Trend, Canva to generate reports, Google Charts and Google Sheets, CRM analytics. The whole idea is to make this research is to make it easy to follow and see how others formulate data. So just an example, create a report with Canva. I actually already did that for a customer. It doesn't went well because after all he needed someone that have more experience, especially on Laravel, and because my specialty is with Node.js and JavaScript and TypeScript based technology, Node.js and TypeScript, as well as the browser. So I wasn't able to provide the value that the client seeking, even though that I made the report on. So the finding is the course of action. Look. So okay, good, good. So with this, I just want to make a huge recap of what I have talked about this. Okay, so first is understand that in this model 4, how to getting yeah, how to conduct a research and gather quality data. Okay, identify where are the most valuable data to the least valuable. First party data, second party data, third party data. Okay, data that come from the company, from trust sources or aggregate sources. Then play devil advocate, especially when you're conducting your research. Look things from different perspectives. Gather relevant data, as well as keep note and yeah, take notes and keep record of every source you obtain. Qualify the data that you're getting, and don't forget to circle back with the client. So then I do a quick recap uh, of a guidelines made by Paul Manders, the CO2 mastering structure. Okay, when he performed and when he conducted research on a tourist website, and then uh, a research that I conduct on the e-commerce to understand what is an e-commerce, the type of e-commerce, and it is examples. Then I conduct a competitor analysis. So once I gather all of that data, okay, and once I conduct the research, then I'm looking at how to create visually engaging presentations, because displaying data with charts and statistics uh, to point out the meaningful displaying data. Okay, so displaying data with charts and statistics to to find out and to point out the meaningful patterns, because as a consultant, the client wants to know how you reach to that conclusions, and by showing that, then both of them can know where it comes from and how you can implement your suggestions and recommendations. So to do that, well, first it is important to evaluate your notes before creating a report. You must know exactly what you're going to put in that report. Then put the most valuable data first by uh, yeah, put the most valuable data first by showing what the client uh, yeah, put the most valuable data first, because you don't want the client to start to uh, forget what the important thing was. And by laying out the ground and putting the most impactful data first, and then expand on that with statistic and different aesthetics. And for recurring revenue or for recurring clients, you might have some templates and visualize that using charts and graph. So looking at the different way to visualize data is by using bars when you want to show change in time, or to make a comparison, or a comparison to a whole. But pie chart when you want to make a comparison, or when you want to when you to compare part to a whole. Items, this is most impactful for small data set according to Data Hero. This marketing startups is based in San Francisco. Line graph, when you want to see the relationship on time series data, continuous data, such as trends, accelerations, decelerations, or volatility. Area chart, that it allows you to see time series relationship, but with a set of three variables. So area charts can represent volume. Then I look at scatter plot, which is you want to see the relationship of different assets or different items based on two set of variables, such as customer relationship and time to response. Bubble chart, which is a combo of area chart, it's a combo of area chart. The bubble chart is a combo of scatter plot and bubble chart, which are great to display nominal the comparison, meaning comparisons among data that doesn't have any inherent order, such as genders, ethnicity, color, cards. Okay, you can represent a three set of data. So an example is time spent on internet, age, and genders, right, in the colors. Then I look at heat maps, which are great for displaying categorical data, meaning data that can be grouped into class or groups, that it can have inherent order, such as or aka nominal, ordinal data, such as education system, high school, uh, diploma, associate degrees, bachelor degrees, master degrees, doctorate, job seniority, entry level, mid level, senior level, C executive, or executive level, income brackets. So heat maps are great to display this categorical data, ordinal data, okay, data that has inherent value, or nominal data, data that doesn't have an inherent value, such as color, ethnicity, gender, cards, fruit. And from that, using intensity of color that represents using intensity of color to represent value of geographical areas or data tables. So for example, commit on a repository, okay, and then I look at geomap, useful to display the distribution of data on a region, such as warehouse or store. Okay, tables, so the simplest way to compare cells by cells representative, or where block view come from. Okay, such as using the IP for that. Tables, waterfall chart. This is useful for uh, performance over time. And pictograms, simple way to display data with a statistic. Simple way to display statistic using icons. Okay, so with that, that'll be all for this video. Take care. Bye bye.